In this video, we will discuss 8 common myths about introverts and debunk them one by one. In our journey to understand better, we'll shed light on various misconceptions that surround the introverted personality type. From being labeled antisocial to being accused of not enjoying fun, introverts often find themselves misunderstood. We're here to change that narrative, to paint a picture that's closer to reality and less of a stereotype. So, get ready to dive deep into the world of introverts. Stay tuned if you want to get a clearer picture of what being an introvert truly means. The first myth about introverts is that they are antisocial. Now, that's a common misconception. Introverts aren't antisocial. They're selectively social. They enjoy conversation and company as much as anyone else. The difference lies in their preference for meaningful, deep interactions over casual small talk. They're not about quantity, but quality when it comes to their social circles. Introverts may not be the first ones to jump into a group conversation or strike up a chat with a stranger. Yet, that doesn't mean they're antisocial. They take their time to observe, understand, and feel comfortable before diving into social situations. It's about conserving their energy for the interactions that truly matter to them, rather than spreading it thin over numerous superficial exchanges. So don't mistake their quiet, reflective nature for antisocial behavior. They're simply filtering their social engagements to align with their personal comfort and energy levels. And when they do engage, they are often the most attentive, thoughtful contributors to the conversation. So introverts are not antisocial. They just value deeper connections. The second myth is that introverts don't like to talk. This is one of the most prevalent misconceptions about introverts. It's not that introverts are averse to conversation, but rather they are selective about what they discuss. They have a preference for discussions that are meaningful, substantial, and thought-provoking. They might not engage in small talk or idle chatter, but give them a topic they're passionate about, and they can converse for hours. They value depth over breadth, quality over quantity. It's not about how much you say, but what you say that matters. Introverts enjoy conversation as a way to explore and reflect upon the world, to connect with others on a deeper level. So if you ever find an introvert being quiet, it's not that they don't want to talk. They might just be waiting for the right topic. Therefore, it's not that introverts don't like to talk. They just prefer meaningful conversations. The third and fourth myths are that introverts are shy and they don't like people. Now let's get one thing straight. Being introverted is not synonymous with being shy. Shyness is about fear of social judgment. Introversion, on the other hand, is about how you respond to stimulation, including social stimulation. So, while you might find introverts opting for a quiet corner at a party, it's not because they're afraid of meeting new people, it's because they prefer a more intimate setting. And then there's the myth that introverts don't like people. This couldn't be further from the truth. Introverts value depth over breadth. They may not enjoy socializing in large groups, but that doesn't mean they don't appreciate the company of others. They prefer quality over quantity when it comes to their relationships, choosing to invest their time and energy in a smaller, closer circle of friends. So, introverts can be outgoing, and they do like people, just in a different way. Myths 5 and 6 suggest that introverts always want to be alone and they are rude. But let's take a moment to unpack these misconceptions. Yes, introverts often cherish their alone time. It's a period for them to recharge, to reflect, and to engage with their inner world. Yet, this doesn't imply they constantly desire to be by themselves. Introverts can and do enjoy the company of others. They just prefer quality over quantity when it comes to social interactions. Now on to the second myth. The label of rudeness often attached to introverts is usually a misunderstanding. Introverts tend to value their personal space and might not engage in small talk as enthusiastically as extroverts. This can sometimes be perceived as being standoffish or impolite. However, it's essential to remember that introverts are not being intentionally rude. They simply interact with the world in a different way, one that prioritizes depth of conversation over surface-level chatter. So introverts do not always want to be alone, and they are not inherently rude. The last two myths are that introverts are depressive and they don't like to have fun. Let's debunk these misconceptions, shall we? It's important to understand that introversion is not synonymous with depression. These are two distinct concepts. Sure, introverts may enjoy solitude, but that doesn't mean they're depressed. It's their way of recharging and introspecting. Now let's address the myth that introverts don't like to have fun. This couldn't be further from the truth. Introverts do enjoy fun, just like anyone else. Their idea of fun, however, might not involve large gatherings or high-energy activities. They might prefer a quiet evening with a good book, a cozy movie night, or a serene walk in nature. So it's not that they don't like to have fun, it's just that their definition of fun might differ from that of extroverts. Therefore, being an introvert does not mean being depressive or not having fun. So, those were the 8 common myths about introverts debunked. We've taken a journey through misconceptions, stereotypes, and misunderstandings, shedding light on the true essence of introversion. It's important to remember that being an introvert is not about being antisocial or shy. It's about how one recharges and interacts with the world. Introverts do enjoy conversation, but they prefer depth and connection over small talk. They value their alone time, not because they dislike people, but because it allows them to recharge and reflect. They aren't necessarily rude, they simply value authenticity and may not engage in social niceties for the sake of it. Contrary to the notion that introverts are depressive and don't like to have fun, they too enjoy life and have a rich inner world of thoughts, emotions, and ideas. Their idea of fun might be different from the mainstream, but it's fun nonetheless. In a world that often celebrates extroversion, we must remember to understand and respect the introverts among us. Their quiet strength, deep thinking, and rich inner lives contribute immeasurably to our society. Remember, being an introvert is not a weakness. It's just a different way of experiencing the world. Make sure to comment below with your thoughts and subscribe for more insightful videos.